really public.
Listen, I'm streaming live on YouTube, okay? I'm just gonna keep my mask on. I don't need the governor knocking at my door. All right. So we have several things to get going tonight. Patrick's here, great. I know that Adam was coming. So hopefully we'll see him jump on here in just a second. The only two people I wasn't able to contact tonight who are members are, oh, let me think of his name. Butler is the last name. Brooke is his wife. What's the first name I can't think of? And the second person is Melissa Miller, who is also on there. But hopefully we'll see him pop on. Okay. Well, that's great. That's what you're streaming? I love it. Okay. Let's see. I think the only person we're waiting for really right now is Adam, right? Brittany said she was going to try Brittany Grow 2. She wasn't sure that she could get on tonight. I think she's actually out of town. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share the agenda that was made. Is that okay with you, Mr. Hanson? Okay. As soon as I find it first, hold on. Hi, Adam. Welcome.
Hello.
We're glad you're here. Actually, okay. Okay, so here is the agenda that was put together just for this first meeting. And there are a couple of things that we need to get through tonight, and Mr. Hanson's going to help us get through some of those. We did have our community council chair from last year has resigned from community council. He no longer has a student in the school and he chose to resign. And then because of the soft closure at the end of last year, we weren't able to elect a new committee chairperson. So those are some of the things we need to do tonight, as well as go over some of our rules of conduct and roles and responsibilities of community council members. Okay, I'm going to turn the time over to Mr. Hanson, actually.
Okay, sounds good. So with the election of our chair, so it has to be a parent. And by the way, just so that we are making sure that we're Sarah, are you taking notes tonight, or?
Yeah.
Or well, we can, well, because part of it is nominating a secretary, but we just, as we go through the election process, we just need to make sure that everything is documented. That means we need to know who nominates, who seconds.
Hey, you know what? I'm just going to move to my office, and that way I can use a second screen, and then I'm happy to take notes under these agenda items, if you'd like.
Okay. Until at least we can do that, and then if we vote, if somebody volunteers to be the secretary, then obviously everything that I'm talking about right now, we would love for the secretary to make sure that happens. So.
Great.
Okay, so again, we'll probably just start with the election of the chair, and so that needs to be a parent. So do we have any nominations for our chair this year?
You can nominate yourself.
This is true. So if you are ready to commandeer these meetings and take control of agendas and lead out, then speak now.
Yeah, why don't you list the responsibilities of the chair so we all know what we're getting ourselves into?
Sure. And one thing, I will speak a little informally to everybody here. For some people, they may not have as much experience in this type of role where they are leading and guiding and conducting the meeting and presiding, I guess, over our council. For some people, that can make them feel a little uncomfortable. I just want all of our parents to know that I'm happy to provide as little support or as much support as a person is comfortable with. And so honestly, as a principal, I've provided varying degrees of support to community council chairs, just depending on their life experience and if they've, had similar roles either in their professional life at work or in other capacities. And so I don't want people to feel like if they, that they're gonna sink or swim, that we're here to support people. And so if you're nervous because you don't feel like you have the support, I'm just trying to say that we will support you and help you out in any way that we can.
The crickets.
Yeah. And I don't know, and obviously I try not to, because this is a parent nomination, I try to let the parents nominate one of the other parents, but does anybody want to do it?
Hey, I would just say that I think any one of the members of our community council this year would be amazing
Great job.
at this.
Yes.
So
I also agree.
We have lots of faith in all of you.
Yes. And this is not a trap.
Sorry, I joined a little late to the meeting.
Welcome,
So I missed
Austin.
the
We're glad
first
you're here.
part.
Welcome.
Sorry, I missed my daughter's soccer at the soccer practice.
That's okay. You're our new committee chair. Because you're the last one to the meeting, so that's
the first one to
it's
speak
actually
up.
written in our rules of order and procedure.
Well, I heard it's crickets. I was like, well, I don't even know what I should be saying anything.
We just need to nominate a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary.
Would anybody be interested in being the vice chair?
So here's the thing. So I'm just going to speak up a little bit.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. This is my first time being on any kind of school council.
Uh-huh.
So I am completely new to this. I wanted to get involved for a couple of reasons. Last year I had 4 kids in the elementary, and now I've got 3. One of them just went to junior high this year, and been having a wonderful relationship and opportunity to work with Ms. Burke, and I want to be more involved in the school. I too am wanting to get into teaching. I love doing that, but here's the thing. I would love to take on a role of leadership, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I would love to be a part of it and have the ownership to say, yeah, okay, this is my responsibility. I need to be a part of it. So that being said, who here has had more opportunity or experience in community council? What's the other's background?
Well, hey, Dee, I just wanted to point out that I feel like the most important quality that I feel like you just talked about is just your passion for being involved. And I feel like that's probably the most important thing to have in community council, not experience. Because we all know that sometimes experience, it's not always beneficial. Sometimes it can be detrimental, because sometimes when you don't know what you don't know, then that's when you can think outside the box and you can come up with new solutions and things like that. So I don't know, anybody else can speak up, but just hearing you talk about how much you want to be involved in the process, that's music to my ears, and I think that you would be a great candidate. And even if you feel like you don't have leadership experience, I think that's not a big deal, not a deal breaker for me. So, does anybody else want to chime in with if they feel like maybe they have more experience? Otherwise, I mean, I guess you can. Otherwise, I would like to potentially nominate Dee, just because he's speaking up and he's interested in being involved, and I think that our community we could capitalize on using his energy and enthusiasm for being involved to be a positive force in our community.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Dan, and I'd be happy to fill any role needed. So, like, if there's a vice chair role or any other role, I'm happy to do whatever would be beneficial for me to be involved in.
Is that
Okay,
Simpson?
Say that again?
No. I was just wondering if that looked like a Simpson to me, or sound. I think that was last year, though.
Well, so Adam, can I take that as that's a self-nomination for the chair, or just a nomination for the vice chair?
I was saying Dee sounds like a great candidate, and so maybe we should nominate him, and then I'm happy to support him however I can.
Sounds great.
Or I'd be happy to fill that role too. But yeah, like Dee, if you're interested, I think you'd be a good candidate. I think that's the key thing.
Okay, so Sarah, if you can put down, I mean, we can count. How about you count me as nominating Dee, or you can say that Dee inadvertently nominated himself and Adam seconded it. And let's, since we got a second from Adam, let's call for a vote, if that's okay with Dee. Dee, are you okay with us moving forward?
Yeah, and of course, this is going to be the perfect year to jump into this, because
I
everything
agree.
is regular and simple, and we've done these things for years, and so
No
we know exactly
surprises.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
No surprises.
This is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, well, let's call for a vote then for Dee to be our chair. Thank you for streaming our note taking there, Sarah. Appreciate it. How about, well, I mean, we can either, I don't know how, because this is kind of new. Normally we would, how about you, does everybody see how to raise your hand and look at the chat? So I just raised my hand. So how about we raise your hand if you're voting for Dee to be our chair. And Sarah, you can look over on the side. And then just leave your hand up, and maybe we can use that as our voting. Like we're raising our hand. So it looks like that I'm looking that we got Bob and, okay, we got real people. So we got Bob and Ben and Adam and Patrick and Joanna and me. And Emily, you're physically raising your hand too. Is it Emily? Sorry, not Emily. Remind me your first name, Mrs. Williams.
Chip.
What?
Jenny.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that.
There it is. I didn't see it. There it goes. There we
Okay,
go.
thank you. And I apologize.
You're fine.
It's because the E. Sometimes when I look at people's screen names, and it makes me not use my own brain.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mrs. Burke, did you get all those votes tallied? You're muted. It's okay. At least you didn't call Jenny, Emily, or Aaron. So good job.
That's why no one could hear me. I was muted and I was like, her name's Jenny.
Oh,
Okay.
why didn't you type that in a personal chat to me?
Sorry, it's because I'm also trying to like take notes and unmute myself and count votes.
Okay,
So-
fine. We'll let it slide this time.
Okay, so it looks to me like the vote was unanimous then. Is that correct? Do I need to write exactly how many? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think yeah. I mean, did you already write down who's attending currently?
No, but I've got
Okay.
it.
That's fine. So we just have to make sure we take attendance so we know who's here.
Yeah. And thank you for the support. I appreciate that. And I will use all those votes as saying that you'll support me in my crazy decisions.
Right.
The best part is that we get to make decisions together. You just have to lead us.
I shall lead.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
No, I'm listening. I stepped away because I realized that I'm going to need to take, now that I've got this, thanks for the vote of confidence. I now need to find a book that I'm going to keep all my own notes of what I'm actually doing.
Dee, did you vote for yourself on the
No,
vote?
do you want me to?
Nope,
No.
I just want to note that you didn't vote for yourself.
we're not here to strong arm anybody. You can vote how you want.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, are we ready to move to vice chair?
Yes.
Now, I have a horrible memory. I don't believe that the vice chair in the absence of the chair, so if Dee couldn't come to a meeting, the vice chair is the one that would conduct the meeting. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't have to be a school employee or even the principal, although I have served as a vice chair in the past, but I'm kind of drawing a blank on what the actual rule is. Sarah, do you remember by chance?
Yes, that in the case, I agree with what you're saying, that in the case that they're not able to come, the vice chair would run the meeting.
Right.
That's
What
how it's
about-
functioned in the past.
What about whether it's supposed to be a school employee or not? Is that a rule or is that just
Oh, it cannot be a school employee, the
the
chair.
vice chair?
Oh, no, yeah, it
Oh
can.
yeah, the vice chair can, because it's the chair that can't. So we have a parent as a chair, but I've just said in years past, that I have served as the vice chair, but I don't know if that's a law or not, or if that's just what we did at the other school. So if somebody wants to be the vice chair, speak up now. Otherwise, I'm offering myself to be the vice chair unless somebody else wants
It
to.
sounded like Adam was willing to fill that role.
Okay. Adam,
I'm willing to, but I'm also willing to nominate Dan, or Mr. Hanson.
Right.
Either way.
Hey, because I had my hat on backwards, it's Dan tonight right now. So I apologize.
We'll just use the full name,
Right.
Mr. Principal Dan
Yeah.
Hanson.
Right. I'm happy to do it, but if somebody else, yeah. So it's up to you guys. Does anybody want to second that of Adam for me, or do we want a different person?
If Adam doesn't want to do it, he seconded.
Who? Oh, D seconded. Okay. Okay, so just put down that and then let's go again with the vote. So if you can just raise your hand for your vote, and then Sarah can go ahead and tally those babies up.
Okay, we have 9 people that are present that voted for Dan Hansen for the vice chair.
Okay. And then secretary mainly is just somebody that takes notes and communicates things and potentially sends email reminders to everybody about our meetings and stuff like that. Does anybody want to volunteer for that?
And sorry, I'll just say that a lot of the reminders that we send this year, we're hoping that you, whoever is the secretary or the chair, will send those through our team that has been created so that we can keep it all kind of in one place.
Anybody dying to be the secretary?
Anyone have experience with note taking? I mean, who's going to school? Raise your hand. I mean,
I'm a little biased because I thoroughly enjoy working with Mrs. Burke, and Adam has put on here that he nominates Sarah and that he's wanting to know if I can get a second. I think Mrs. Burke does a phenomenal job of.
I'll just point out that Adam is not actually a member of community council, so I ignored those.
Oh, okay, ignore those and tell him that he can't even nominate because he's not even a part of this community council. We can. I think Mrs. Burke would be happy to do it. I'm speaking for you. I'll stop talking. But
what do you think?
I think I work with her. I think she's great.
I'm more than happy to support in any way that I can. But I do want to say that that we really encourage this to be,
Parents.
heavily parent involved.
Right.
And so if there is a parent out there that is willing to do this, we would absolutely want you to have that opportunity to do that. But I'm happy to go ahead and serve in that place if no one's interested. Jenny.
No, I suck at computers. I was raising my hand. No, thanks. I know how to dispense drugs. That's it.
That's an important skill. That's
It is.
Okay, if you can dispense drugs, you can be the secretary.
Yeah.
No.
That's
no,
actually.
No.
Okay, well, not anybody else can nominate. Otherwise, we will. Who nominated? Am I saying that I'm nominating you, Sarah, or somebody else? Or is anybody else going to be nominated besides Mrs. Burke?
I'll nominate her if you don't want to nominate her.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so put
I'll
down in the
second.
notes that Joanna nominated you, Sarah.
Okay.
Is anybody else going to be nominated? Okay, does somebody want to second the nomination
will.
for Mrs.
I'll second it.
Okay, thanks, Jenny.
Yep.
Okay, throw your hand up there.
Sorry, some of us had our hands left up, so
Okay,
will you just make
so-
sure that you put yours in
Yeah.
the correct position for you?
As a committee chair, before we go to the vote, I'd like to ask a request.
Okay,
Can we get an introduction from everyone? Just to say
Yeah.
hi and who we are?
yeah,
That's a great idea.
that is a great idea.
And then
Hi,
we can get a
I
little bit to know
am-
you.
I'm
Yeah.
Sarah Burke. I am the assistant principal at the school, administrative intern.
Thank you.
And that's
Do you
Dan
have
Hansen.
students in the- do you
I'm
have
Dan
students
Dan
in the
Hansen.
school?
I do not have students in the school anymore. They've been begging to go to our home school, but up until last year I did.
I know most of you know me, but I'll just hurry and say, so I have Dan Hansen. This is my 7th year as a principal. I've been in education about 17 years, and I've had a variety of different positions. I've worked as a teacher assistant, so a classified staff position. I've worked as a teacher, I've worked as an assistant principal, and I've worked as a principal. And I have 7 children. I got 2 in junior high, 3, wait, is that right? Yes, 3 in elementary and 2 that are not of school age. So there's information about me.
Okay, Adam Carter.
Hey, I'm Adam Carter. I've got a son in 1st grade. I had another son who just moved on to junior high. But yeah, we've had kids in King for 6 years now, and we'll probably have kids in King for about the next 10. This little girl here will be joining King in about 4 years.
Oh, cutie.
So adorable.
Yep.
Great. Okay, Patrick Peary.
Is it putting me on? There it is. I'm Patrick Peary. I have 2 kids there, a 5th grader and a 1st grader. I also work in education. It's fun. That's about it, right?
What do you do for education?
I teach 6th grade.
Oh,
My 8th year.
Where?
Wasatch Elementary in Clearfield.
And remind us, Patrick, how long have you taught for?
This is my 8th year.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Okay, Bob Myers. And I think you're still muted. You're gonna get that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I have 1 son currently in special ed at King. We've had kids go through King for the last several years. I'm the father of 9 kids. So excited to be here and involved.
Awesome.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, it's Austin Butler. Is that correct? I think you're still
Yes,
muted.
yes,
Okay, good.
it is.
Awesome.
So I'm Austin Butler. I've got 2 kids going to King right now. Here's one of them. And then the other one's actually out here practicing her soccer
Awesome.
at King right now.
Oh, I was gonna say
So-
that all looks familiar.
Yeah, I figured you probably recognize the wall and window.
Awesome.
So I'm excited to get more involved as well.
Great. Okay, Jenny Williams.
I'm Jenny Williams. I have 4 kids. 3 of them have gone through King already, and 1 is in 3rd grade currently. And that's it. I've sat on the council for a couple years, and I've enjoyed, the input. So that's it.
Awesome. Okay, let's see where I'm at here. Joanna Sorensen.
Okay. Here we go. I'm Joanna Sorensen, or Miss Jo, like the kids call me at school. I teach 6th grade. This is my 21st year teaching 6th grade. Live in Bountiful, 4 kids, 1 in college, 2 at Viewmont High, and 1 at Bountiful High. So, and I think I have 3 former parents. 3 of my last year 6th graders are parents on the council, so that's kind of cool.
Awesome. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and tell me if I missed anybody except for Dee. So Dee Evertson, I think you're the last one to tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, I kind of went through a little bit about my passion. I love teaching. I'm not a teacher yet, but currently I'm in a teaching role, that is to work down at the DI as a job coach. So I do a different kind of teaching.
Awesome.
I am a former E.G. King alumni, I guess. I went to E.G. King.
Very cool.
When
That's awesome.
Principal Whitesides was my principal, and then I switched down to Whitesides for half the other time from 4th to 6th. So a little bit of both from the area. So I have a deep love and root here in the community. Grew up around the area, and it's just a powerful thing for me to know that we are working as a community in trying to better not only our families but each other in lifting everyone up. So thank you.
It's awesome. Thanks, Dee.
Okay,
The
so
perfect chair.
yeah, we're excited for him. So we have to go back to finish the secretary nomination now.
And now we know everyone. So
Yeah.
do we have any other nominees? Because I was, Mrs. Joe, you're freaking awesome. We love you to death. And Jenny, having experience and stuff is also a benefit for us of kind of understanding the flow of things. So those are some thoughts.
I appreciate your vote of confidence. I feel like I'm about at max capacity for this year.
What?
I know. So I thank you for your kind words. I think I'll pass, but thank you.
I share in that sentiment just a bit with work and everything, but I do kind of know the flow a little bit, but I don't think that really has too much to do with taking notes. So,
No, I think it does.
do you? Do you, Sarah?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, but
you're-
you
I
also
think
Jenny,
have-
I can put my mask on and I can show you how to work the technology too.
No, really, that's where I just stink. And you don't know, it's potty mouths come out bad when stuff like that happens. I stink.
We
at
should
it.
hang out, Jenny. We could be good friends.
Okay,
And
good.
remember that this is a public meeting.
Yes, I know. That's
Later.
why I said potty. So, yeah, no, I am not the person that have anything to do with the technology part of it. I'm really not.
All right. So
Hey, Dee?
yeah.
I'd be happy to step up. I just retired, so I have some extra time on my hands.
I like
So-
that.
I nominate Bob.
Yeah,
I
like that,
second
Bob.
Bob.
Hey, and
only-
Bob,
yeah,
you need any
the
help
worries
with all of
The
that?
I already
first thing
got
of
my hand
why I
raised.
said no is I'm like, you got 9 kids. What do you mean you've got time on your hands?
Yeah.
We only have
That is a true statement right there. That is true.
What are you talking about?
4's at home right now, so. And believe me, I'm
Yeah.
looking for something to do.
Okay.
Wait, who seconded?
We all do.
I second it.
Okay, hold on.
I think Jenny
Well,
did.
He nominated himself, and I'll second it.
I'm putting that I nominated him. I think I shouted it the
Yeah, I think
loudest.
you did.
Thank you.
You had
You
both
nominated.
hands raised.
Do it.
They sound good.
Okay. And then
How do we
who
get to senior?
seconded?
I heard Jenny
I
second,
can.
I think.
Yeah, I heard Jenny.
Yeah.
I heard Jenny do that as well.
Okay. So now because 2 people were nominated, do we need to take a vote or can I bow out?
No, well, we gotta
Think
if
about
more than it depends on if you include that in the notes or not. If you were nominated, so technically
I think it should be on the notes.
that you were nominated.
They're recording the meeting.
Okay. Yep.
It happened.
Where? I can't
Okay.
see the notes anymore. So
Okay.
Okay, so let's call for a vote. We're having a vote between Mrs. Burke and Bob Myers for the secretary. So
Okay.
let's do the
Adam.
vote.
Go ahead, Dee.
Oh, sorry.
Adam, put your hand down. There you go.
Okay,
All
so
right,
go ahead.
Sarah Burt. That's great. Okay, for
Yeah,
Bob.
we all feel good about it.
She's crying. Look how sad she is.
let's vote for Bob. And what about Bob? He doesn't vote.
He can choose to not
That's
vote.
an awesome movie. I love that movie.
Baby steps. We're all about baby steps. All right.
Okay, so will you keep your hands up really quick? So I'm looking at. So 8 people in attendance voted for Bob. Bob did not vote for himself. That's what I'm writing, okay?
So who's at the King Elementary office that we have a square up for?
It's actually, so that's what we're using to stream the video so that I don't also have to finagle it on my device.
Between the two.
Yeah, so King Elementary office is streaming to YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. The next item on the agenda was rules of conduct. Oh, everybody can put your hands down.
Okay, so do we want to just go onto the website and review those that we have at our school? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted, sorry.
Thanks.
Sure.
I said, that's fine. We need the meeting to probably end at 7 because it's a 6 to 7 meeting.
Right?
Are you
Okay.
going on
What?
the line?
Yeah, I got it pulled up. Do you want me to just start sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so here's our website, Community Council. So right here's our rules of order. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so these are the rules of order and procedure, and so every school is different. We can vote on these one time a year, and I'm pretty sure, okay, right here, yep. They'll be re-voted on each year by the current community council members for the following school year. Because it's the following, we don't have necessarily a timetable, but I think normally we would try to do this in the spring, where we follow the procedures as they are. And then if there's any changes that we want to make after we have met for a year, then we make those changes, we vote on them, and then they're in effect for the following year. Does that make sense, everybody? I can't see. Give me some.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All I
Yes.
can see is my
Yes.
screen, so
Yes.
show me some
Dan,
love.
just to be clear, basically what we're trying to do is don't vote out something before we try it. And
Right.
so give it a year to see how it goes.
Yep.
So the following year, then we kind of decide, okay, this worked and this doesn't. And then again, give it kind of that year before it really gets into place.
Right. And the other thing too is that we don't want people like changing things back and forth in the middle of the year, so to speak, kind of a thing. And so we just want some consistency to our meetings. And so just curious, has anybody been watching the board meetings for the Davis School District?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yes.
hopefully that was that Jenny or that was Joanna that just said that?
It was Joanna and Sarah, I believe.
Okay. So just so everybody understands, the community council is like a local board for our school. So the community council is the school board, but just for our school instead of the entire district, if that makes sense. So just like a school board meeting has rules of order and procedure on how the meeting will be conducted, the same is true at the local level with the school. So I'm just going to go over these very quickly in the interest of time. But we want, again, these rules are meant to promote ethical behavior and civil discourse, because we all know that sometimes when we discuss things related to education and our kids, we can get people that are passionate. You know, I think the key thing is that we can understand that we can have different opinions and disagree with people about certain things, but we don't have to be disagreeable or rude about it. And so we just want to make sure that we're civil and ethical in our behavior. So we want to attend council meetings, be on time, listen to and value diverse opinions. So scrolling down, agendas, meetings, and minutes. The agenda of each upcoming meeting with draft minutes of the prior meeting will be made available to all council members at least 1 week in advance. And so D, as far as your responsibility as the chair, you need to communicate with Sarah and I about the agenda 1 week in advance so that we can get it posted on our school website. So we need that sent ahead of time. And so the chair with input from community council members. So anybody can recommend a community council agenda item, including parents that are not on community council. And so if somebody wants to talk about something, they just need to communicate to D, and then D can put that on the agenda. So D, you'll be conducting, or we want you to conduct the meetings, make assignments, and in the absence of you, then I will run the meeting. And then we'll keep the minutes, and then the first thing that we do at each meeting is that we should approve the prior meeting's minutes. The council will prepare a timeline for the school year that includes due dates for required reporting, other activities, etc. You guys can read this. The council consists of both parents and school staff, and so right now we have no more than 14 parent council seats. And a minimum of at least 5. How many parents do we have currently? What's the tally?
Sorry, I have to look at the list really quick, but I think it is 6 or 7. Hold on, let me pull it up in Teams really quick and I'll look at it. It was posted there. Sorry. So parent members, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parent members currently, including Melissa Miller. And I had spoken with her, and she plans on attending, but I was unable to get a hold of her tonight.
So that's including her, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 7 total.
Yeah, and so one thing, you know, and this is, I'll just point this out. We're not going to make any changes, and we can see how the year goes. But so currently that means we have 7 vacant seats on our community council. And so we may, I think there's pros and cons to having large councils versus small councils. If you look at the school board for the Davis School District as an example, I believe, how many members are, I'm guessing, I want to say it is about 7. And then with the superintendency, it's 8. Somebody correct me. I think that's about what it is. So because we're kind of patterned after the school board, I don't know that I recommend too much more than that, because sometimes when you have so many people on the community council, it's like having too many cooks in the kitchen kind of a thing, and it makes getting through meetings sometimes difficult. But also we do want people involved, so it's just kind of walking that line of having enough people but not too many that it becomes cumbersome. Okay.
So here's the question on that then.
Yep, go ahead.
seeing that there are no more than 14 parent, and that there needs to be at least minimum half should be of the whole council parents. This is suggesting that we could have a council up to 27 members.
So basically the law is that school staff has to be 2 less than the parents. So with 14 parent council seats, it should be 26.
2 less. 26 or 2 less.
Yes,
Half
2
of
less
should be elected. Okay.
So you can see right there that 26 people, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
On a council. That's just my opinion. And so right now we don't necessarily need to worry about it, but if people wanted to make a recommendation to reduce the number of council seats that we have, that's something that we could talk about doing in the spring if people felt so inclined. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then and hopefully to answer anybody else's questions, so 26 is the maximum, and right now I think Sarah said that we have 7, so that means the most school staff that we can have on the council would be 5, which means that right now our council would be 12 at the most. Okay, it talks about, oh yeah, it does say that right there. It talks about ties. Let's see. The community council shall annually elect the council's at the council's first meeting a chair and a vice chair. So D, you're going to be the chair this year, and then D, is this your second year? Right? It is, right?
Well, yes and no.
Right.
So I was voted in just prior to the whole shutdown in March.
Okay. Now, were you replacing somebody?
Sarah, was I replacing somebody?
You were, and I actually think it happened in November, if I recall correctly, October, November. It was, you know what, maybe it was in January. I'm sorry, and I'd have to go back and look at the notes, but it was after, because you had come to the round table, which I think happened in November. And then we had someone who resigned from their seat like the very next month. And so the next time we met, if we met in December, then it would have been December, we voted you in
to replace that person. So one thing that I'll just point out to everybody is that if you are voted in to replace an existing member, then you absorb their term of office, I guess, is the best way I can put it. So if they're a first-year person, then you're a first-year person. If you are replaced and a person's in their second year, then you're a second year. And so the only reason this matters is that for re-election purposes. So D, because you and I'm as if D replaced a first-year person, then it's not a big change. It's just that you're in your second year here. And so if you want to serve on community council again the following year, you can serve consecutive terms here at King Elementary as long as there's an open seat. We just have to keep track of what year people are in. Are they in year 1 or are they in year 2? If you're in year 2, you have to submit your name for nomination again to be on the council. If you're in a year 1 this year, then you're automatically on for year 2. Does that make sense, everybody?
Cool.
Okay, so we got the secretary. We did have an attendance. It says all meetings are open to the public. Public's welcome to attend. If a parent member is absent from 3 meetings, the council will consider the seat vacant and the remaining parent members will appoint a parent. So when that happens, school staff we do not vote. It's just parents only. So if we have somebody that's not coming, then we need to get somebody to fill their seat, and then parents get to vote on which person is going to be put in as the replacement.
Sorry, can I interrupt here really quickly?
Yep.
We're just looking at bylaws and things, and I'm not sure that the principal can be the vice chair. I think that an employee, a teacher can, but I'm not sure that the principal can. I will try my best to pull it up and find it right now.
Okay.
But if that's the case, can we go back?
If you scroll up a little bit, I swear I just saw it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I can, because when I fill out the report, I have put myself as the vice chair before, and it
It
doesn't.
definitely says excluding the principal.
Yeah, the second sentence in that bigger paragraph.
But is this I guess my question is, are these King Elementaries? I guess, because
Yeah, and I think that if they are, that we need to at least follow them for this year then,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And so then we could talk about it at the end of the year.
Right. So there's a difference between having our own rules of order procedure, like at the local level, versus having laws, at the state level. So because I'm pretty sure that I have to complete a trust land summary report every year, and I've put myself as a vice chair, and it never flags it as an error. And if it is an error, then it will flag it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
So what we're seeing is that when changing the rules of conduct, these laws, that this section could be changed next year to not say excluding the principal.
Yes,
could do the vice chair shall be elected from the parent or school employee members. So here's the question then. Going forward with everything, should we and do we need to follow this law as set from last year, that it says excluding the principal, and do a revote for the vice chair?
So I think if I can speak really quick, I think we have two options. It does specify that we vote on the rules of order and procedure. It doesn't say when, it just says that we will vote on it during the year. Let's see, right here, to be revoted on each year. So it doesn't specify when during the year the vote will take place. So I think we have two choices. We can either vote somebody else to be the vice chair, which is totally cool, or we can make a change now to it, but it does seem, probably in my opinion, premature to make changes to our rules of order and procedure. So it might just be better to make somebody else the vice chair of this. What do you guys think?
I think probably for this year, I think we probably should make somebody else the vice chair.
I'm going to go
crossing my fingers that one of you will be willing to. I know, Adam, you had spoken up a little bit. I don't know if Austin Butler is willing, or Jenny already told me.
I'd be willing if we need someone to do it.
Okay, let's just capitalize on that willingness then, and Adam nominated himself, and I'll second that nomination.
Okay. So then we need
Let's take it to a vote.
Yep. Crap. Do I need to
stop sharing? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I guess you don't have to, huh?
To the bottom, on the bottom of the screen, you should be able to see where the people are, and you'll be able to go from right there to see everyone, see all. And we have everyone except for you. Oh, there you go. And that looks like it's unanimous.
And officially the vote was for Adam, right? I just want to make sure we
Yes.
verbalize that. Okay. As vice chair.
Okay.
As vice chair.
You guys can go ahead and put your hands down.
Please. I know you get that a lot. How often do you say that?
Yeah, it's been a
Put your
couple
hands.
years since I
You-
had a
you can
teacher
put
tell me to
your
put my
hands
hand down.
I mean, we can manually do it, but it's much faster when you do it for yourself.
Right. So this is just kind of more formal. We have to motion to adjourn the meeting. So like if we want to make sure the meeting ends on time, like somebody's got to like motion to adjourn the meeting and end the meeting.
That's cool.
So we have all of these
Simple
things.
motions.
Yeah. So just try to be familiar, with these things, because I know that some people may have feelings about being so formal in the meeting, but at the same time, we want to make sure that the meeting is done in the right way. And so just try to familiarize yourselves with these voting procedures, and we'll do our best to follow those. And then there's some more information here that I don't really want to go over, but we encourage you. So again, this is all school information, community council. So click on that, and then this is where it takes you. So, and then this is where we're going to be putting our agendas. All of your information, by the way, is going to need to be put here, and you need to have a contact. You need to have an email that is public, so that if somebody has a concern in the community, that they know who to reach out to.
So the emails that we have that we've used to invite you to this meeting, will that work for everybody who's in this meeting? If it won't work for you, will you please reach out to me and let me know so that I can change that and get that to the webmaster as soon as possible so she can put those contacts up?
Can you scroll to my name just so I can see which one?
We don't have one.
Okay.
So
Let's figure out
if we don't
out of the
have one,
15
please
that I
just
got.
please let us know what email you would like. Okay. What else is on the agenda, Sarah?
There's quite a lot for 5 minutes, for 3 minutes.
Great.
Can you pull it up just so we can look at it?
Yeah, sure thing.
Do you want me to get off or?
Or if you have it in Teams, you could, or just click on the agenda right there. It's going to be right here. It should be linked on the web page, right?
Where? Oh.
Yeah. October agenda.
Okay. We did that. Yes. Pretty much
We
here.
already went over the website.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys just a couple of things. So here is the School Land Trust website. We have an overview that kind of talks about it, and I know that they have a video, although I'm not quite seeing it, but this is the program. And if you look over here, this is important to understand that we can't just spend school improvement plan money on anything. So this has appropriate expenditures on what we can spend our money on. This is important too, because how to amend a plan, because this year we had some things in our plan that we approved last year, but because of COVID, we may not really be able to do some of it. And so we may need to amend our plan. And so I just wanted to probably take a hot second to pull up our plan. And let's see, what was the other? Let's see, I got a million tabs. So this is from, you guys are still seeing my screen, right? So this is an email from Natalie Gordon, who is with the Land Trust. Here's her email right here for the Utah State Board of Education. So this is just kind of a timeline for the year. So it says right here, fall reporting due. So this is, we report on how we did from the prior year. And so that's a plan that I have to complete. And then we typically try to share it in November. So with the plan, and then looks like there's some more information, but the spring reports will have a council signature form where you guys will be able to sign. And we've been doing that digitally, where you will get an email sent to you, and you will digitally sign that you either participated in the creation of the school improvement plan. So that's just some information there. Let's see. Oh, changes. Oh, great. Let's see if it. Okay, good. It says, so it says standards on the first list must be addressed by the school first, but not necessarily with school land trust funds. And then the councils may consider items on the second list if they're consistent with priorities of the LEA. LEA meaning the school district. So I mean, these are every year. So just so everybody knows that every year the laws can change with regards to community councils. So we have to just kind of stay up on what's most current. So they may not function the exact same way every single year. And so here, this just looks like here's some changes. And so maybe we can send this out and you can look at these, but probably down here, here's some important things. It says that the community council needs to provide input to the principal in preparing the school's positive behavior plan that promotes positive behaviors to address student use of tobacco, alcohol, electronic cigarettes, etc. School breakfast, and then this is a high school council, so it doesn't quite pertain to us since we're elementary. But so this is just an email that Natalie sent out on where's the date? I can't see the date here, but oh, right here, September 14th. So okay, I know it's 7:02, but I just wanted to very quickly review our plan with everybody, if that's okay. So last year we decided that we were going to do a reading goal, an academic reading goal, where we're trying to focus on the growth that we're achieving with our kids. And we'll know if we achieved our reading goal by the middle of the year. And the reason why we choose the middle of the year is so that we have to come up with our plan for next year before the school year is even over. And so we kind of have to know in the middle of the year if our plan was even being successful. So that's just one thing and then so we have our action plan, and then we have how much money we allocated to this plan. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Where is this? Where can I get a copy of this from? Like on the website, it looks like it's got the prior year's plan.
Right. So this is actually, Adam, this is actually a homemade document that Sarah and I mean, this is something that I typically do because the school improvement plan can be very lengthy. It's a really long document. So what we tried to do is we just tried to shorten it a little bit. Okay. I'm happy.
So you'll be able to send this out with it, with the other email.
Yeah, I'm happy to share this. So if we want to put this, Sarah, if we want to talk to Brittany or Haley and get this on our website, we can just make sure that that people know that it's not like an official document, I guess is probably the best way to say it. That it's just a document that it's a document that I create with the information from the school improvement plan just to make it a little bit more palatable.
Because you mostly use it for your notes and reference, I don't know that it's appropriate. I don't know if we should put it on the website. I think There should be more talk about that. We can definitely put it in this team here so that all of our community council members can view it, so they
Okay.
can also use it as their notes. And then
Okay.
I will check on the website and make sure that we do have the updated version of our current community or our current school improvement plan on there. And
Okay.
then Adam and everybody else who may be watching and wondering, it is true. You sometimes do have to scroll through the prior year and then it comes to the new year. Is that correct, Dan?
Yeah, the school improvement plan is meant to be comprehensive, but sometimes it can be confusing. And so this is why I have chosen to break it down in this way, because in my opinion, it's not as confusing. So that's why I do this.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
so the second
We'll follow
goal.
up with that on the website and then we will make sure to get this document into our teams.
Yep. So that means everybody that's in community council can access this. And if you have questions about it, feel free to talk to us about it if you don't understand something in it. So it just has the money that we've allocated. It has the goal, and it has our action plan on how we're going to try to achieve the goal. So the second goal that we have is a math goal. It has our goal here, and we've actually created common formative assessments that we're going to be giving to our kids this year to try to measure that during the year. So currently, I really like this goal, because if we did not develop these common formative math assessments, we would have no way of measuring our kids on specific math learning objectives during the year. And so I am excited to get the data from our kids this year and see what kind of information we can gather to inform our instruction and improve the learning that our kids are getting from math. And so then we have the breakdown of the money of what we've allocated towards that. This goal is because, and so if you are on community council, if you remember, so King Elementary School has been identified as a targeted school improvement in the students with disabilities subgroup, because these students, meaning our students with disabilities, have fallen below the lowest performing 5% of schools in the state's accountability system for 2 consecutive years. So that just means that we can do better at helping our students with disabilities subgroup here at King. A caveat to that data, though, is that it's how they're calculating that data is really hard. It's really hard to make the gains that they're asking us to make, but that doesn't mean that we can't improve. And so we want to improve with our kids, with the subgroup of the kids with disabilities. And so we made a very specific goal, which is part of the law. So if your school is designated as a TSI, then you need to do something to try to address it. And so we have created this goal, and then we to try to address it, and then come up with this action plan, and then allocated money to try to help that. Does anybody have any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Goal number 4 is a similar. Oh, this is it's a goal. So it's a little confusing because when you look at it, it's talking about chronic absenteeism, but we're just using chronic absenteeism as a measure to try to improve our school climate. And so really what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase our school climate. And I just want to let all the parents
Sorry, that's
know.
arbitrary for this year. That is so
Right.
that is not going to happen at all.
Right. Obviously we're going to take attendance with a grain of salt a little bit this year, but I do want our parents to know that we still are having problems with kids coming to the kids that struggled to come to school last year before COVID are still some of our same kids that are struggling to come to school now. and it's a problem that's not going away. But I want all of the parents to know that this year we were able to hire Miss Chittister, who is our new school counselor. And I cannot say enough about Miss Chittister. I think she is wonderful, and I think that she is already trying to incorporate SEL strategies in our school to improve school climate and self-care strategies with our staff. And I think that she has a great vision that's coupled with the vision of Mrs. Burke and myself, that I think we can do some great things this year. So we're excited about it. And so we're really trying to increase capacity with our staff in their understanding and implementation of SEL strategies. So that's just something that...
Dan, can I jump in here?
Yeah.
I think it's so unfortunate that, it's not unfortunate that we have Miss Chittister. She's amazing. It's unfortunate that this is the year that we have this as a goal because of the COVID stuff. But the kids who are coming to school, it's amazing the type of things they're already getting. So I can't imagine how much more they would struggle without her, even though it might not show in the data as far as absences.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think that I think SEL support and focus is probably needed more now than ever. And I just wanted to communicate to our parents that I feel like we have a great plan in place to try to address the needs of our kids. And I think that we have great staff at our school to try to implement that plan. And that's something that we're excited about. The last goal is a kindergarten goal because we couldn't include them. So this goal up here, goal number 1, it's a cohort goal. And because we don't have cohort data on kindergartners, because kindergarten is their first year, we actually made a separate goal just for kindergarten that's not a cohort goal. And so we would have included kindergarten in the first goal if we could have, but we couldn't. So that's why we made a separate goal for them. And it's a reading, it's a reading goal, and it's a progress goal, not a proficiency goal. And so we have allocated money for that. And then right here you see our total funding. So I just wanted to review that. Like Sarah said, we will post this in our team so you can take a closer look at it. So if you have any questions about it, or if we want to discuss it more or anything like that, let us know. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. How do I stop sharing?
Up in the top right hand corner there where it has the X. Yes. And then actually, can I just quickly share my screen so that I can show you around the team really quick? Is anybody opposed to that? No? Okay. I will try to make it as quick as I can, and then somebody can motion to end the meeting if we're ready to do that. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to click the right thing. Maybe. All right, so in our team here, hopefully you can see this when I click on it. You'll see that we have our, I'll actually scroll down to our team. We have our community council team down here. And in general, that's really just a spot where we can put permanent type things that go in there. But under there, we also have these files. And that is actually where I tucked the agenda that I've been taking notes on. So we can move these because the general, I don't know that you can access it as a guest. So the general, if we go into discussion, we can move all of these into that files area. And that way, Bob Myers can access it and take notes under those agenda items if he'd like to. And the great thing is you can edit directly in Teams. So if you just click on there and you can start editing it like a Word document. So for D and for anybody else, if you want to start a new conversation or something like that, you can just go ahead and click new conversation down here. Some cool things are that you can make it an announcement. So if there's a big thing you need to make sure everybody's knowing about. And then the last thing that I would mention to you is if we're not checking this regularly, which I know that it's a community council and you guys have jobs and other things going on, a nice thing to do when you have a message for the whole team is just to do the @ sign and then 130, because that's our school number, and it'll come up with King Community Council Team. And that way you can go ahead and type your message, and if somebody doesn't come in here and look at it, it will send them a nice little reminder email that there's messages for them to see in Teams. Okay, that's pretty much all I have as far as what might be useful in here. And I can tuck those files for you to look at. And you can edit the files in here as well in the discussion channel. We'll go ahead and put those there. And then D, I will do my best just to help you set up a link for the meetings if we continue to have them on here. Ideally, we do want to get back to in person, but for now, currently that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Would there be a time that we can either do it through Teams, Zoom, personal with our safety, just so you can kind of walk through Teams with me, and
absolutely,
that way I can be more familiar. When would be a good time?
Maybe on a Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. What about like next?
Well, you don't really like work during the day, right? So you could just fit them in whenever, right?
I really, you know what, for D, sure, not a problem.
Let me check my Friday schedule.
You know what, we could do it on a.
She did nothing today because you weren't there to see.
Yeah, no.
She just put her feet up in her office and ordered pizza and bonbons.
How I wish, right? It was a one-man circus show over here, and we don't need all the details for Dan Hansen. It's okay. Okay, so
that way, what I want to do is I just want to have maybe an opportunity for any other council members just to go on to, so maybe make something like this. If we can even set up a quick thing, we can talk about it later. But I want to invite all the council members just to have another group chat time that we can all just get onto Teams, that you can show us a little bit more about it, and we can be more familiar as a group.
Right. And
let's try to do it on a Friday. And if we do it on a Friday, our STS can help. And he's very knowledgeable on a lot of those things.
Right.
All right. So we'll talk more about it. We'll send out an invitation for everyone and just set up a time and date.
And Dan, you were just going to add something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sorry for my dumb jokes, but I was going to say that we would love to actually have everybody, we want community council members to be informed about what's going on at our school, and sometimes coming to our school during the school day and just seeing things that are going on is a good way to do that. I don't know that we need to have a large group of us that's all at the same time, I guess, but I would just encourage people, if you have time, to come take a tour of the school, to come kind of see what we're doing. I think that helps you get a better idea of what we're doing here at King, and we want people to come in and see the good things that we're doing, because we feel like we're doing some good things. So
you just have to be willing to take our health assessment and have your temperature taken.
And wear a mask.
And wear a mask, actually, yeah. It's not that bad. Okay. I move that we adjourn the meeting or dismiss the meeting.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it. Ask all in favor. D, that's you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye. You want me to raise this hand too?
Yeah, you can raise a hand. I don't care. Say aye.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Bob,
so much.
We'll get together, and thank you, Adam, for being the vice, and we'll get together and we'll figure this out.
Okay.
When do we discuss when's the next meeting? That's one thing we didn't say.
Oh, it's the first Thursday of each month. And
I just wanted to clarify.
I will make sure to help get that up there, and so it's out there for our community as well, and for us. And then these notes that I took for us tonight, I'm going to put them into the team, but I'll make sure that you get them, Dee. And then that way, when we begin our next meeting, we can approve those minutes. Is that right? Do we
Okay.
usually approve them at the next meeting?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
I read that.
But we do need to post them before that, Mr. Hanson?
And that's
Yes.
and that's
As a
why the
draft.
1 week before I send it to you two. Yep, got that.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds great. Thanks so
All
much,
right.
guys.
See y'all.
Yay.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yeah, thanks.